The borough of Brooklyn is the location for the Mavericks. Porzingis and Doncic getting ready. Two of the most talented players you'll ever see. They want to win here as they prepare to do battle inside Barclays Center. Mavs, Nets. We'll be right back for the tip. It's the NBA. Welcome to our Sunday night broadcast here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Irving.
The surge in his free throw percentage this month is noticeable. He's looked a lot more comfortable at the line. Part of his job now should be attacking the D, going head-on, drawing fouls, and trying to ride this hot streak.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, Kevin Durant said his days of trying to prove himself through basketball are done. He said, walking around with a chip on my shoulder is not my thing. I'm more relaxed in letting these days flow. I'm the best version of me. I don't need to prove who I am. I've been in it for too long. Kevin, this is a guy who is finally comfortable.
All right, thanks, D.A. Clark, terrific defensive teams tonight, both highly ranked. What will the offenses have to do to get some scoring in this one?
Well, a few things. One, you've got to be patient. You've got to be ready and willing to make the extra pass. And then you also have to mix up what you do offensively. You don't want the defense to get a steady diet of what you're trying to do. Keep the defense off balance.
Now, we'll look at Dallas's starting lineup. Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Jalen Brunson out there with Hardaway. And it's Marjanovic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Brooklyn, LeVert and Durant out on the perimeter. Allen is out there with Jordan. And it's Irving at the point. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
Boy, excellent situational awareness from Hardaway Jr. that time. I mean, he seems to know exactly where to get when the break is on.
Irving passes to Jordan. Pass to Durant. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Here's Doncic, and the dunk by Doncic.
Well, the main weapon in Doncic's attack. He really excels at finding lanes and then taking advantage of them.
Brooklyn with the ball. First quarter, just over a minute played. The three from KD. Durant with another miss. Doncic against Durant. And the dunk by Doncic.
You know, as I watch Doncic, I think it's futile to try to distract this guy. His focus and concentration and control of himself is excellent.
Three-pointer, LeVert. No good, shot missing. And it's Dallas the other way. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively. And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still threw that down pretty hard.
And a great front office in Brooklyn. General Manager Sean Marks taking over in 2016, and he just signed an extension.
And you know, guys, that San Antonio tree has some great branches on it all over the league, and he's one of them. I mean, he's been a player, a coach, has worked in the front office. Marks understands all sides of the basketball business.
Now, here is Irving. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis. Jordan against Marjanovic. Jordan kicks to Durant. With the shot.
And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game.
Not one second chance bucket allowed. That is finishing off good defense.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Boy, this is borderline ridiculous. I mean, every single attempt finding the bottom of the bucket.
So for the Nets, Joe Harris comes in for Kevin Durant. And Spencer Dinwiddie subbed in for LeVert. Dallas also making some changes. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Marjanovic. And it's Wright in for Jalen Brunson. And it's Doncic. That time on the assist by Wright. Doncic has got 13.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, they're doing everything right. How about that? I mean, this could turn into a blowout very quickly.
And the mid-range shot of Irving is impressive. He has wonderful form with that shot.
Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Wilson Chandler's checked in for DeAndre Jordan, and it's Prince in for Irving. Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for the Mavericks. Lee comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And when you see that step-back three, Clark for Doncic, shades of James Harden, the way he gets that shot off.
And you know what? They say Luka's deceleration, hitting the brakes and stopping suddenly, is top-notch, just like James Harden's. So that's quite a compliment. A lot of that is footwork and balance, but I think his quickness, too, guys, has been a little bit underrated. This guy is a little better athlete than he gets credit for.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Dinwiddie dishes to Chandler. That one falls, coming off Dinwiddie's feet.
Hey, the unselfishness there by Dinwiddie, you love it. He's all about doing what's best for the team.
Here's Wright, and he banks in the layup.
Really seizing the momentum of this game, but doing it with a methodical approach.
And, you know, that involves pounding it inside, getting as many points as you can right at the rim. That demoralizes a team.
Here's Chandler, following the score by Dallas. Here's Lee. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Now, here's Dinwiddie. 23 points for him the last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis. Prince misses. Mavericks leading by 15. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Powell, the pass to Kleber, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Dinwiddie with it. No points in the game yet for him. On the wing, Harris. And the Nets miss again. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. And we'll see if they can keep up their tremendous shooting they've been dialed in so far from the field. And don't go away. We'll be right back. One of the league's best point guards, Kyrie Irving, had this to say about his competition.
2011, I came into a league where the point guard position was still being.
Some say, Greg, a golden age at the point guard position.
Yeah, and Irving right there with the best of them. He embraces the challenge.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Dallas.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
On the perimeter, Harris and Prince. Allen is out there with Wilson Chandler, and it's Dinwiddie in at the guard position. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn.
You know, guys, the Dallas Mavericks with the longest active sellout streak of any pro basketball team. You can put sellout in quotes because they actually give a lot of tickets away to schools and community service groups to make sure that building is full.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Jordan, he's checked in for Allen. Kevin Durant comes in for Wilson Chandler. And Karis LeVert subbed in for Harris. The Mavericks also with a sub. Porzingis, he's checked in for Dorian Finney-Smith. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. Now, he doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. And Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. You know, Clark, the Mavericks making their games accessible to Dallas fans, much more concerned with the packed house than the revenue at the gate.
Yeah, and I like that philosophy, guys. I mean, building their future fan base, those fans will be around for a while, giving young people a chance to become Mavericks fans for life. And you start early, and it pays dividends down the road usually.
Kyrie Irving's checked in for the Nets. And then for Dallas, Marjanovic comes in for Dwight Powell. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Ryan Brokaw.
J.J. Barea has speed to burn. I mean, he's shifty, he's quick, and because of that, he's extremely valuable as a decision maker and scorer. Great competitor.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
Well, you know, it takes character, poise, toughness to win on the road, and that's exactly what they showed last game.
Irving finds Jordan, and no good.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
You know, guys, no denying it's been a rough patch here. I think they've got to run whatever is best in their playbook to get a good shot.
That one falls. Dinwiddie's got his first bucket in this one.
And with that one, it ends an 11-0 run by Dallas.
Greg, you get so caught up in how great Durant is at scoring that you forget sometimes about his other terrific offensive skills.
You know, KD doesn't really get a lot of recognition for his passing, but he has fantastic vision. I mean, arguably, he might be the most underrated superstar ever. Sees so many double teams and does a great job of getting the ball out to open teammates.
Now here's Durant. After Luka Doncic's miss, KD can't get it to go. Here's Dallas. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. And the dunk by Doncic.
Boy, you look at Luka Doncic, and it's clear. He's got the entire package, a full repertoire, especially at the offensive end.
Pass to Durant. We've got 1:55 left to play in the first half. 6 to shoot. Jordan trying to free himself up. Durant, no good.
Yet that's another miss for him. They're behind in this game largely because he shot so poorly.
Curry gets the bucket.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Brooklyn has possession. The Mavericks making the shot. Pass to Durant. Poked away. Porzingis with the steal. Here's Marjanovic, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's on Kevin Durant. And even though you only see him in short spurts, Boban makes an impact, Clark, when on the floor.
Yeah, Marjanovic is a huge guy, and he only plays limited minutes at a time. But there's nothing small about this guy. He's an efficient scorer when he gets his chances, but just doesn't have the foot speed to be able to play significant minutes.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Jared Allen's checked in for Jordan. Chandler comes in for Kevin Durant. And Joe Harris is subbed in for LeVert. Now here's Brunson. Spencer Dinwiddie missing his last shot. Lee kicks to Finney-Smith. Dallas moving the ball around. And it's sent back by Allen. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. And again, it's the Nets missing.
He's certainly been cold this quarter, guys, but trying to shoot his way back into a groove.
Here's Brunson. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Now, here's Dinwiddie. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game.
Boy, he makes it look so easy. Dinwiddie gliding around the court and spraying those jumpers.
3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. It's stolen by Allen. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. Now the pass to Allen. Dishes to Irving. The shot from 20 feet away. And he hits the jump shot. Irving's got 6 points. Just 4 seconds left in the second quarter. Brunson. No good on the last second attempt there.
You know, dependable at defending multiple positions. Chandler has great value because of that.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. The Mavericks on top as they wrap up the second.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every. Luka Doncic has been the story in this one. He had 18 points and 1 assist. An extreme. And it's just about time now for the third.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
Man, how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Doncic and Porzingis, the incredible forward pair. Hardaway is out there with Jalen Brunson. And it's Marjanovic in at the 5. And Clark, when you think back to your playing days in high school, what memories come to mind?
Well, just the fun of being able to have success all 4 years I was at St. Joseph High School in Cleveland, the way the city rallied around us my senior year when we had a chance to play for a state championship. Unfortunately came up short. The teammates and coaches and teachers that I had a chance to enjoy those 4 years with, all really fond, special memories for me.
Irving passes to KD. Takes the 3. It's rebounded by Dallas. Marjanovic has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Here's Doncic, and the dunk by Doncic.
Excellent court awareness from the big man there. Porzingis proven to be a reliable passer.
Get Kyrie.
Now here's Irving. Brunson covering. Stolen by Brunson. Here's Doncic, and the dunk by Doncic.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What, you mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
LeVert inside the line. The shot, no good. Now Dallas takes it the other way.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
And the dunk by Doncic.
Boy, showing you some power there, fellas. I mean, nice to see Doncic get up and drop it in with force that time.
Irving surveying the floor. It's LeVert on the wing. Guarded by Hardaway. LeVert the pass to Allen. Will it go? Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Not to be denied there. Allen playing hard. A little contact, not going to bother him.
Taurean Prince, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Harris comes in for Karis LeVert. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Powell, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Ryan Brokoff comes in for Doncic. Seth Curry, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's DeLon Wright in for Jalen Brunson.
It does not get much easier than that, but somehow he came up empty there.
And you look at Karis LeVert, Clark out of Michigan, 6'7", and a tremendous athlete.
Kevin, he's one of my favorite players over the last handful of years coming out of college. He had some injury issues his last 2 seasons at Michigan, but he's an excellent two-way player. Outstanding energy and aggressiveness, and makes all kinds of plays at both ends of the floor and plays the game the right way.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for Durant.
And a one-year player at Texas, Jared Allen came into the league as a bit of a project. He's got ample playing time to develop in Brooklyn.
Passes it to Irving. From the baseline. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
And Greg, safe to say, Allen's defense is ahead of his offense.
Yeah, but his mobility and leaping ability serve him well as a finisher, providing that vertical spacing teams like to have inside.
And the Nets making a change here. Dinwiddie's checked in. And then for Dallas, Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Porzingis. And it's Lee in for Curry. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Boy, I covered Jared Allen in college, and you look at the physical profile he's got. 7.5-foot wingspan, big hands, explosive, really good athlete. He's got all the tools and an upside without limits.
You were talking, Clark, about Allen's length and leaping ability. He's dangerous around the rim.
Boy, he sure is, guys. Still developing his skill game, but he's already more than serviceable at the offensive end of the floor. And we know he's a rim protector defensively. Good feet, gets up and down, has a nice touch and good hands. Boy, this guy is going to be some kind of player going forward.
Dinwiddie's shot is off.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Here's Harris, and it's denied. But they recover it. 6 on the shot clock. A second chance effort, and good that time. 6 points for Spencer Dinwiddie.
Boy, it's so difficult to corral Dinwiddie. Even when you get physical with him, he finds a way to power through.
Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
Well, I'll tell you what, his vertical is awesome, off the charts. A short center who still makes his presence felt.
30 seconds left to play in the third. And it's Dinwiddie with the ball. Bringing it up now for the Brooklyn Nets. And stolen by Wright. And here comes the break. Here's Powell, and the dunk by Powell.
And, you know, Powell is an excellent athlete, Kevin, easily leaking out in transition and making himself a big target to throw the ball to.
Right against Dinwiddie. From past the arc. No good on the shot. It's been all about Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavericks. He's up to 26 points in the game now, just keeps pouring in the buckets. We've got more in store for you right after this. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. We've got Wilson Chandler, Spencer Dinwiddie out there with Garrett Temple, and it's Claxton in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. With some arc, and he lays it up and in. Temple's got his first points in this one.
How about that wonderful floater he has, showing off an exquisite touch.
It's blocked.
Boy, it's rare to see a block shot from a perimeter player like Dinwiddie, but good job that time.
Here's Karuch. Almost, but it rolls out. Dallas shooting a mind-boggling 79% off the floor. Here's Barea. Goes back up. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Dallas.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. David Nwaba comes in for Wilson Chandler. And Irving subbed in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Dallas also making a switch. Marjanovic is checked in. Temple can't get it to go.
Good offense squaring up against better D there. You got to appreciate that stop.
Just his first attempt. No good off the front iron. For Brooklyn, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Name some traits that make for a great team leader. You've been in that role. What did you like and embrace, and what have you seen from others?
Well, I think it starts with humility, a real sense of who you are and what your role is on the team as a leader, and then a really good example setter. I think those qualities are essential. Humility speaks to selflessness, but also being one that holds yourself accountable too.
Pass to Irving. Right at the free throw line. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And then Hardaway with the dunk.
A prolific slasher with some serious bounce. Hardaway Jr., fun to watch.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Back to Temple. Here's Claxton, guarded by Marjanovic. Claxton with the bucket.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
The Mavericks have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Marjanovic. Second shot opportunity. It's hauled in by Claxton. And so it's Brooklyn with it. Here's Karuch. Clark, take us inside the halftime locker room in the NBA.
Well, players typically just regroup individually. There may be some conversation between the players as a group, but then the coaches will huddle, evaluate what transpired in the first half, what adjustments need to be made, and then they'll communicate that to the team. And it's basically a time to rest and regroup for the players to adjust and strategize for the coaches.
Clark, do you think there's any videotape review in there, maybe showing players certain sets, certain schemes?
In this day and age, for sure, with the use of iPads and technology. If you go back to my time, there was no quick turnaround of video in the halftime locker room.
Right. I do know officials do that, too, in their locker room at halftime. Rob.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Dallas.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And words can hardly describe the way these guys have come out game after game after game and been dominant facing both conferences. When they hit the 72-win mark, we thought it couldn't continue. And when they rewrite the record books once more, we'll say, wow, we were glad we watched it all. What a team.
And guys, because they play in different conferences, this is the last time these two will face off. It has to feel good getting a clean sweep here, finishing the season series 2-0 against the Nets.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Luka Doncic.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Pass to Irving. Shoots over Brunson. Again, the Nets for 2.
You can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. They waited too long to finally ramp themselves up.
Here's Finney-Smith. No good. And Brooklyn will come the other way. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Makes it off the glass. 20 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Boy, a fantastic performance. And I tell you something, I mean, you get roadkill, that's always a challenge in the NBA, no matter what, and they got it done.
It's Hardaway with the drive, and that one drops.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback? Diminished.
So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
Pack up one plan, get my stacks up. I'm gonna make moves, you get passed up, catch up. No, we can't match up. They wanna act up, pack up. I don't like